coffee is for leaders.
I always ask them, what drives you? Because I believe that is at the root of how we can stay healthy and how we can stay motivated and how we can want to get up every day and continue doing what we're doing. Because as a CEO, there's so many challenges that come up and there are difficulties along the way.
Blima, thank you so much for coming on the show. Give us a sense for how you became founder and CEO of the Designers Group.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here today. My journey to becoming the CEO, I guess, was a natural progression since I founded the firm. And what started as two women working together grew into something that neither of us anticipated in the best way. And we are an interior design firm started in Toronto, Canada, with offices in New York and Miami as well. And we are working on properties throughout the US and Canada, and we're all about designing with purpose, creating a better world.
Yeah, give us a sense for how you why interior designing? Why designing? Why did you get into this? What about this is so exciting to you?
When I was a child, my parents moved my family across the street to start rebuilding our childhood home. I was able to watch the entire process from demolition to seeing the foundation getting poured and then watching the walls come to life from a 2D blueprint. I was completely fascinated. And at that point, I realized that I wanted to get into something in the construction industry. And being a naturally creative person, I was drawn to design, and a career in interior design felt like it was marrying the two in the most perfect way. And it has been such an incredible journey, starting from working on residential spaces and expanding into the commercial sector and really being able to see how the environments that we're creating are making a difference and changing people's lives for the better.
Give me a sense for your take on, obviously because of COVID, a lot of people went fully remote. Now they're coming back to offices. They're kind of doing hybrid, that type of thing. I think it's so important for companies and, leaders to all be in the same space. Give me a sense for why you think that's important.
It's definitely important for leaders and the people on their team to be around them just because they can learn from the unspoken word. Just watching them in action, there is so much to learn from a person, which cannot be translated virtually. However, that being said, in today's world, we have to constantly evolve with the times and understand where the industry is going when there are shifts in society. And that's one of the reasons that we do have a hybrid type of work culture. And we do have some employees that are completely remote, even though as a designer and as someone who's creative and sees the difference between people being able to be part of the process and watching that evolve is really incomparable to when you're able to be within that space with them. There still is something about working with today's trends and what people want and giving our teams the life-work balance that they're demanding.
And as you mentioned, the Designers Group is world-renowned, and you have impressive clients. You've done a lot of incredible work. Give us a sense for when you knew hey, we've got something here. We have this specialty skill. We have a portfolio that can back us up. At what point did you feel hey, we've made it?
That's an interesting question because I'm not sure that I can pinpoint that exact moment. I know that I always wanted to make a difference. I always wanted our designs to help our clients out and not just our clients, but the end user as well. And we put a lot of time and energy and passion into ensuring that we're delivering the best results to our client. I think when it really clicked was when I was able to see people using the spaces that we designed and how transformative their environments were and how transformed they were as a result. That's when I believe it really clicked for the first time. Seeing people within our spaces and understanding the value that we bring. It's not about the words for me, and it's not about people saying that we do a good job. It's really seeing people using the spaces and benefiting from them.
Give me a sense for what a typical day looks like for you.
There is no typical day for me. Every day is so different, and that's what makes my job so exciting and so challenging, but I love it and wouldn't have it any other way. I'm always talking to people about different health and wellness goals and how they structure their day. And every time they're like, oh, why don't you just have a trainer at 8:30 every morning? And I try to explain to them that there are days that I'm starting to work at 6:30 and there are days that I'm traveling. Every day is so different that it's really hard for me to set up a structure 3 months in advance, especially in the construction industry, in the design industry. There are things coming up that are unexpected. And I have to be adaptable. I have to be available. I have to be able to see our vision executed and make sure that we're there for that. So at this point, I do have an incredible team behind me that can really take care of those details. But in my position and where I'm at right now, I still want to be available for it to ensure that we're delivering the best results to our clients.
When CEOs come to you or companies, and they're like, hey, we want to create, what type of environment should we create for our employees? Like, what have you seen that's been successful? What do you say to them in terms of like, this is like the type of collaborative, well-designed environment that we've seen that works?
We always start with an onboarding call where we want to get to know the client. What are they trying to achieve in their space? And we're in many different industries. So I'm not just speaking to an office space, but it's really about looking at who will be coming in. So let's take your example, an office, a workplace, and a client comes to us. So first we want to understand who they are as a brand. What are they trying to accomplish with what they're offering? So we want to understand who their ideal client is, but we also want to understand who their team is, because what's so important is keeping your team engaged. Because if your team is inspired by your mission and is engaged with it, then you can offer the best product, the best service, and really excel at whatever it is that you're offering. So we're looking at that, but we also look at who the brand is. We want to make sure that the messaging is cohesive across all mediums. So looking at their social, looking at their website, making sure that their physical space speaks to that. And not only does it speak to that, but it also amplifies it. So when you're walking into the space, you're understanding where you are, but also ensuring that the workplace will help your employees really deliver the best possible service and allow them to collaborate in any way they can. If they need private spaces, if they need more collaborative areas, brainstorming nooks, whatever it is that's necessary so they can work at their best. And when they're bringing in their clients, they can also see that.
How has AI changed the whole design process and workflow for you guys?
We're leveraging AI in all of our design processes at this point, but we don't have one specific platform that we're using across the board. And most of the software that we're using is not at 100% just yet. So we're using it to help us to help expand our capabilities, the speed at which we do things, but nothing is 100% accurate just yet. I remember when ChatGPT came out with their rendering software ability, and I probably had 15 people call me that day. Okay, like, what are you going to do? Are you laying off your team? Or is it time for something new? And I explained to them that we're just as excited as you are with all the technology that's coming out there. The more we can leverage it, the more we can offer it to our clients. But at the same time, anyone who's worked with ChatGPT and their rendering capabilities knows it's not very accurate, and it's very hard to make any modifications to the rendering. And anytime there are details, it becomes a lot harder to use. So obviously we're excited because we see the opportunity there. We know that it's coming, but right now it's not at the place that it needs to be. And obviously we're not using ChatGPT for renderings, but it's an example so that you can all understand what I'm referring to.
Yeah, there's a lot of promise in AI, but yeah, you're exactly right. I haven't seen a scenario where it like really has replaced humans. I think it's just kind of made us more efficient, you know what I mean? And maybe even better. You know what I mean? But it certainly hasn't replaced anything as far as I'm aware. The designers group, seems to be very from the founding, seems to be very mission and values focused. I want to talk a little bit about your TDG Furniture Exchange. Give us a sense for why you launched that. I believe it's a charitable organization. Tell us what that is and why it was important to you.
From the time I was a child, my parents always instilled in me that we're here in this world to make it a better place. And how better to do that than creating environments that give people better experiences. So I feel very lucky that my career is in a space that I feel like I can continue doing what my life's mission is. And our firm's motto is designing with purpose, creating a better world. So we're all about our designs making a difference, making an impact, and really helping people and helping them live better lives. And taking that a step further was the reason that we have used our platform and our firm as a way to give back. Oh, the TDG Furniture Insider is one such example where I was moving apartments and I had extra furniture and didn't know what to do with it. So the TDG Furniture Exchange was born where we matched people who have furniture to give away with people who could use it. And we believe that everyone deserves to be in a space that they love and to have the furniture to accommodate that. So we are operating in 9 cities right now. In New York, where I currently am, we have partnered with Dumbo Movers that moves all the furniture for free for us, which is incredible. And it's all about facilitating one person's furniture that they would throw out or put in a landfill to give it to someone who can use it. So we're repurposing that furniture. We're giving it a second life, and we're giving someone the opportunity to have a beautiful home where they might not have been able to afford it. It's been so rewarding seeing people have spaces that they love and being able to have a part in that.
Yeah, that's incredible. That must be super rewarding. Give us a sense for what is the mission? What are your values? Go deeper on that for us and how you came up with them and how you have executed on those in such a meaningful way.
So like I said, growing up, it really was drilled and instilled into me how our purpose in the world is to make it better. And I believe that that's why everything that we do as a firm and I myself do as a person is really to accomplish that. And when I was exploring the different directions that our firm could go in, I knew that I wanted it to be impact driven. I knew that I wanted our spaces to make a difference and to really change people's lives for the better. And when we look at the environments that we're in, so many people don't even realize the impact. I remember when I was in high school, we had community hours that we had to do in order to graduate. And I was tasked with visiting a nursing home. And I really connected with this older woman that I was visiting. And 3 years into me visiting her, she moved into a newer building. They had just built a new building. And I saw how she seemed to be 2 years younger. I couldn't get over it. Like, I had known her. And from when I met her, she was increasingly getting older and declining. And all of a sudden, she had this new life. Her room was sunny and airy, and her furniture was new. And she literally was a different person. And I remember thinking then, like, wow, it's literally just the building, but the effect is on her. I remember when I started my design journey, it was a dream of mine to get into healthcare and senior living. And thank God I was able to realize that dream. But when people used to ask me, why is that a direction that you want to go in? And I used to just say, like, that is a space that you see the impact. People have lived these amazing lives. They're getting older. Why should they decline rapidly? Let's try to give them the best possible end of life experience, or even that it shouldn't be the end of life. Like, we want them to be able to continue living and socializing and being happy. And we've really been able to see that in the communities that we're working on. So it's been extremely, and I know for all our projects, we're very, very impact driven. And it's because knowing that you can change someone's lives for the better and you can accomplish that with their environment. So I get to tap into my creative side, and so does my team. I mean, it's a win-win for everyone.
What are some of the biggest misconceptions people have about what interior designers actually do?
My biggest pet peeve is being called an interior decorator. When people think decorating, they think the paint on the wall, the wallpaper, furniture, and we are so much more than that. We come in all the way at the beginning from the initial concept and really understanding what the space is meant to be and how it's supposed to function, and how we as designers could guide that to ensure that the space is fulfilling its potential. And there's so many ways to accomplish that. I mean, we're leveraging technology. We're looking at function. We're looking at form. We're looking at everything. When we're coming into a new space, we'll speak to everyone when we're doing our research. We'll even speak to the cleaning crews, because understanding even that part of the interior has brought us so many ideas. And there are people who see the space from a completely different direction than, let's say, an employee in the space or a resident of the space. And we want to keep our spaces inclusive. We want to make sure that everyone who uses them can connect to them. And we do that in so many ways. But one of the ways that I'm so proud of is our diverse team. We have people from so many different countries, from so many different cultures, religions, and everyone's experience really shapes how they view things. And bringing everyone's viewpoints to the table really gives us a much broader approach. And we have seen the transformative power of our designs, and we know that spending the time on the strategy, spending the time on the vision just ensures a much better result at the end.
How do you think about balancing your mental health? I mean, we think about this a lot at CEO.com, and again, COVID kind of brought that out. Like, man, there's a real mental health crisis in leadership, and being a CEO among CEOs and things like that. How do you think about that? How do you manage that? Give us some advice on that front.
Health and wellness is such a big conversation lately. Even when it comes to the design of any of the spaces that we're doing, I always say if our clients are not the one keeping it at the forefront of the conversation, we are. So it's definitely a big ticket item. I would say for myself, I love what I do. I literally do not feel like it's work, which I'm so grateful for. Of course, there are parts of it that definitely do, but overall, it's so impactful and so amazing. And I always tell people when they come to me and they ask, I'm thinking of this business. What can I do? I always ask them, what drives you? Because I believe that that is at the root of how we can stay healthy and how we can stay motivated and how we can want to get up every day and continue doing what we're doing. Because as a CEO, there's so many challenges that come up and there are difficulties along the way. So even though I look at challenges as an opportunity for growth, at the time, they can be difficult. So what is it that's driving you? What is it that you're trying to accomplish with whatever service or product you're offering? And I definitely say that to myself all the time. Like, what is it that's driving me? And because it's something that I'm so passionate about, that's step one. And then step two is really being mindful of my health and wellness, staying active, staying inspired, making sure that there is that balance between a personal life as well as a work life. And I mean, that aspect, I would say I'm probably not the best at because I love what I'm doing. So I don't even necessarily want to balance it. Like, I want to think design anywhere I travel, anywhere I go, but staying inspired and really tapping into your why is a good way to lay the foundation for your health and wellness and then ensure that you're staying active and really keeping your mind and your body stimulated.
What's the economic environment been like? I mean, given like so many people went remote, then hybrid, and then, a lot more like realizing how important it is to be back in the office. And then you've got, just general things like tariffs. I don't know if that affects just like the general kind of economic uncertainty of the past few years. How have you managed that? And how are you thinking about the outlook in the future?
I was just talking about this to a friend the other day, and I was saying if I had anxiety, it would be through the roof right now. We finally got over COVID and all the supply chain issues, and now we have the tariffs. And I believe that in business and in life, like I was just saying, there will always be challenges, but challenges drive growth. So it's so important to understand what's going on out there, stay at the forefront of innovation and technology and the news and whatever the mindset is at the time, but also understanding that that is our power. Being able to think of solutions as CEOs, that's what we have to do. We have to lead and we have to lead by example. And if every time something happened that went wrong, we would panic, then what kind of example are we leading? And how are we leading? So we have to really take a look at what's going on, stay informed. But by staying informed is understanding what the solutions are. So yes, there are tariffs. There is so much unknown right now, but at the same time, what we could do is find different materials and applications that are local, speak to the different vendors out there, understand what the tariffs really are. Some materials don't have those taxes. So just really learning, because so many times it's the unknown that is the worst part of it. But once you understand what you're dealing with, then you can figure out the solutions, and it's really not as bad as you think it is. Or if it is, then you just need to think of better solutions and just keep going and just take the next step, because the next step will lead you to the next step and the solution will come.
Finally, we end every interview with the same question, and that is at CEO.com. We believe the chances one gives is just as important as the chances one takes. When you hear that, who gave you a chance to get you to where you are today?
Oh, wow. That is a really good question. I would say every single one of my clients have given me a chance, and I am so grateful to them because we have gotten so many incredible chances and opportunities, not just to showcase our design expertise, but to really make a difference and to really help people live and work and interact in the most amazing spaces out there. And I just hope that I keep getting these chances because I love what we're doing and I want to continue to increase our growth, increase our impact, increase the difference that we're making. And that is only possible with the chances that our clients give us.
Blima, you're incredible. Thank you for who you are in the world and your leadership. What you've built at the Designers Group is unbelievable. Congratulations on everything. Would love to have you back, but thank you for sharing your wisdom and time with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Really appreciate it. Thanks so much.